What's up guys, Darkdally here, playing Ghost Recon Wildlands, and today I want to continue the assault rifle bullet drop comparison with two rifles. We're going to start with the L85 A2, and then I also want to test the LVOA-C Bad news. I really do want to try one of the special ones. I really want to get there, and since we're going through these pretty quick, they're not proving to have as much variety as the sniper rifles, so we're kind of doing two or more rifles per video. I want to do the L85 today because I kind of already did it a little bit yesterday in that video where I showed it. A viewer asked for comparison, so we kind of did it, but I didn't do it officially, and I have not marked it on my compilation yet. So we're going to do the L85 today officially, and of course the LVOA. Now, I've already gone through and tested the sights on this thing, and one thing I want to say is this rifle is almost dead on with all the scopes. I mean, some of the rifles have been, but this one, even with the ACOG, I gotta say, it's really just dead on with all the scopes. And one thing I've noticed, and I think this shares this characteristic with the AUG A3, is that even just crouched, you know, not even necessarily prone, even just crouched, this thing has hardly any breath movement. It's something I thought I noticed with the AUG A3, but I wasn't sure. And I'm seeing it here too. Now, these are two of the rifles that hit the highest, to have the least amount of stock bullet drop. But you notice that sight is just almost dead on. And you really see it if you shoot at like a wall or something right here and watch the bullet hole. You see that even at this distance, the crosshair never even leaves the bullet hole with the breath pattern. Whereas some of the rifles that hit lower, the breath pattern is much more pronounced. That's something I noticed. So these rifles, these ones that hit the top, the highest, not only have the least amount of bullet drop, but unless I decide to like compare this officially, they seem to have much less breath movement too, and that's something that we could possibly test. You know, this is going to be a really good rifle for long range testing, except for one thing, and that's that I'll tell you right now, it won't take a long barrel, so we're not going to see the same bullet drop we saw with the AUG A3. Now, as the G2 couldn't get there either, that means the AUG A3 is, at least among the stock assault rifles, and as far as we're seeing, still the most accurate. One thing I want to say before we get started is I really thank everyone for the great response I've had on the immersion tips and rules videos, and we'll be continuing that in a series leading up to suggestions we want to give Ubisoft of things we'd like to see in a sequel to this game. And I think that'd be cool too. I like to do a video like that. I'm sure lots of people have done videos like that, but I'd like to do my own, just put it out there, because I've gotten some really good suggestions from you guys, but we'll go into that in that proper video series. For now, there's no need for me to shoot these scopes at the wall like I oftentimes do. Trust me, these scopes are all pretty much right on. Even this scope here, which normally shoots a little bit to the right with some of the rifles, really doesn't shoot. It really shoots pretty straight with this. Right now, we got it completely stock, so I just want to do what I always do and make sure we're still hitting the same place we were stock, which we always do, but I like to get a baseline, you know, get a baseline up on the wall so we have something to compare against. And yeah, that's right about where we were hitting. That's maybe one bullet hole low, but that's pretty much it. All right, I went ahead and took another shot. I realized I had my aiming sensitivity turned back up. I turned my sensitivity back down, which is something you want to do if you're sniping. You know, if you're performing primarily a sniper role, or if you're weapons testing, you want to turn that sensitivity way down. And that's really right where it was hitting, just right at the bottom of that brick. Let's go ahead and let's have a look at the mods we can do with this, because I want to get to the bad news. I want to see the bullet drop on that thing, because I have no idea, because unlike other special weapons, the LVOA-C Bad news is not just a reskin, you know, it's a total new weapon. There is no LVOA in the game, and there should be. I would love to modify one of those. All right, so let's have a look at the parts here. For the L85, we can't put a longer barrel on it. We can only put a shorter barrel on it. Now, as we saw, however, in my last video, and I'll do this here because this is the official test video for it, it does still actually hit on the wall. Whereas the Mark 17's short barrel dropped it completely off the wall. This actually still hit on the wall, I want to say a couple bricks down. Let's find out here. Yeah, there it is. Oh, I almost thought I was mistaken for a second. Yeah. Just over 2 bricks down. You can see it right there. I'll blow that up for you. All right, so that's what you can expect to lose if you equip a short barrel. So yeah, short barrels have a big effect on long-range accuracy. So let's go ahead and let's put the barrel back on. It's the best barrel we can get. It's the standard. And let's put that rangefinder on. This will give us our best bullet drop. Although there is one thing I do want to try. I've never tried to see if compensators, I don't think, have an effect on assault rifle bullet drop. They had no effect on sniper rifle bullet drop, but who's to say that's necessarily going to carry over here? Okay, so here it moved us up right about half a brick. I'm going to take a few more shots to confirm this because it looks like I'm hitting a little low today. So let me take a few more shots to confirm all of this. All right, I've taken several more shots, and I know it looks like just a mess of bullet holes here. But yeah, we're hitting really consistently with the L85 around, yeah, 3/4 right near the top of this brick. So that's where I'll have it marked on the compilation. So I'll go ahead and add that to the compilation, and we can move on to the LVOAC Bad news. All right, and now the moment I know I've been waiting for. I'm really eager to see how the bad news does. Yes, I know I have the G2 equipped. I was trying some stuff there off camera. I was just kind of trying some stuff around, making sure. I like to confirm as I go, you know, that everything is right. There we go. There it is. I must have passed it. All right, so with the optics, yeah, let's check out the optics with it. It's only got the one sight. We can't change it. I'm sure it's going to hit right on. It does. All right, well, there's nothing we can change with this. It's going to be a little different to line up because we're using a different scope, but it'll still be accurate. We just need to make sure we get it perfectly set up here. I just noticed in my zoom. You know, it's funny. I've been using this thing since, for a few months now. I look down there and I notice on the zoom it says 1x zoom. Yeah, I don't think so. What's this? I believe this is 3x with the G33 and the EXPS3. All right, we are dead centered. Oh, not to get the suspense anymore, but let's move this mark. I just thought of that, so I'm going to move this mark and then we'll try this. All right, there we go. We got that moved over to the left, so this will have its own proper spot now. Let's see what we get. Is that really the best zoom we get? Yeah, that's the best zoom we get. All right. Of course, this can't be modified, so wherever it hits is where it hits. And, well, how about that? It hit right with the L85. It hit, like, in the exact place the L85 did. So, as far as modified rifles, so far, this hits the lowest. But, of course, what parts? Well, tell us what parts are on it. I'm wondering. It does. It has a standard barrel and no rangefinder. So, even though there is no LVOA in the game, if there were, which, hint, hint, Ubisoft, this would be, as far as range goes, completely stock, because just a standard barrel and then the laser sight, which doesn't do anything for bullet drop. So there is that for us. All right, guys, so that's it for today. I didn't want to make this video too long, but we did get through 2 rifles. I tested some things I haven't tested yet. And of course, we got through the bad news. One thing about it, I'll give it, it had very little movement also on the breathing. The sight is very, very, very steady. I imagine if this thing had... Well, think about it. Think about it this way. It hit right with the L85 modified. Now, the L85 was the highest hitting of the assault rifles stock. This hit, because this is effectively stock, this has a standard barrel and no rangefinder. This is, as far as bullet drop is concerned, stock. And it hit up with a modified L85, which was the highest hitting. If we could get an LVOA in the game and modify it with a longer barrel and rangefinder, we would have... It's pretty easy to say, pretty clearly, we would have the most accurate assault rifle. That said, this goes with my theory on that. You can see it has very little scope movement on the breathing, if any. And I'm only crouched. I'm not even prone. It's very hard to see the scope moving whatsoever. It's very slight. This is a really, really good rifle. However, because it's not modified with any, you know, range-oriented stuff, its bullet drop is a little more than the other assault rifles. Let's put the overall compilation up on screen now that we have it. So here's what we got. Here's where the L85 hit. The bad news hit right with it. If only they'd give us an in-game LVOA that we could modify. Boy, that would be sweet. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this test. Let me know below if you have any questions or comments or anything that you want to see. Otherwise, we'll be moving on in the next video with a couple more rifles. Guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure. I'm Darkdally, and I will catch you all next time.